Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about a important topic is cell. Cell. The cell means small chamber. Small chamber. The history of cell. We will discuss about the history of a cell. In the history, the first cell discovered by Robert Hooke. And then after, the nucleus discovered by Robert Brown in the year 1831. After that, the cell theory proposed by Schleiden and Schwann. The cell theory proposed by Schleiden and Schwann. Schleiden researches on plant cells. Schwann researches on animal cells. Both scientists have discovered the cell theory. After that, the cell division proposed by a scientist called Rudolf Virchow. Okay, once again I will tell the history of a cell. The first cell discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 in a cork. Second, the nucleus discovered by a scientist called Robert Brown in 1831. The cell theory proposed by Schleiden and Schwann. Schleiden researches on plant cells and Schwann researches on animal cells. These two scientists discovered the cell theory in the year 1830. After that, the cell division proposed by Rudolf Virchow in 1855. Generally, these cells are classified into two types. Based on the nuclear membrane, there are prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells. Pro ante munduga. Karyo means karyo. The term karyo means nucleus. Pre-nucleotic cells. Eukaryotic. In science, U means having. Karyo means nucleus. Specific nucleus is present in eukaryotic cells. Specific nucleus. So, the best example of prokaryotic cells are bacteria. Next, the best example for eukaryotic cells are plant cells and animal cells. Both plant cells and animal cells are treated as eukaryotic cells. Now, the eukaryotic cells are classified into two types, plant cells and animal cells. Generally, some differences between plant cells and animal cells. Now, we are discussing about the differences between plant cells and animal cells. The differences between plant cells and animal cells are generally any type of cell contains some cell organelles. This is plant cell and this is animal cell. This cell contains some organelles and also this cell contains some organelles. Organelles are some parts present in a cell. Generally, cell organelles are cell wall, plasma membrane, nucleus, nucleolus, mitochondria, ribosomes, lysosomes, vacuoles, cytoskeleton, chloroplasts, etc. All these are treated as cell organelles. cell organelles. Generally, some cell organelles are present in plant cells. Specifically, some cell organelles are present in animal cells. Now, we have discussed about the differences of plant cells and animal cells based on cell organelles. Generally, the main differences are major differences between plant cells and animal cells are cell wall, vacuole, plastids, and centrioles. Now, these cell walls are present in plant cell and opposite in animal cell. Generally, vacuoles are present in plant cell and absent in animal cells. Plastids are present in plant cells and absent in animal cells. Now, the last one, very important one, that is centriole. These centrioles are absent in plant cells and present in animal cells. Now, we have discussed about some brief description on these cell organelles. First one, cell wall. Cell wall is made up of some components. That means complex substances. That complex substances are called as pectin, lignin, suberin, and cellulose. All these components are complex substances. Why these are complex substances? These complex substances are made from numerous simple substances. For example, cellulose. Cellulose is a complex carbohydrate. This complex carbohydrate is made from numerous carbohydrates. Numerous carbohydrates. Generally, carbohydrate is formed from numerous glucose molecules. Generally, this is a sequence. Generally, simple substance is glucose, complex substance is cellulose. Generally, numerous glucose molecules to form one complex carbohydrate. Numerous complex carbohydrates to form one cellulose. That's about the cell wall. Second one, vacuole. Vacuole is a sac-like structure present in lateral parts of a cell. Generally, these vacuoles is surrounded with a thin membrane. This is vacuole. This vacuole is surrounded with a thin membrane. This thin membrane is called as tonoplast. This is very important one. Each vacuole is surrounded with a thin membrane. This thin membrane is called as tonoplast. This vacuole is filled with some fluid-like substance. Generally, the third one is plastid. This is also very important cell organelle in a plant. Generally, plastids are classified into three types. They are chloroplastids. Second one, leucoplastids, and third one, chromoplastids. Chloro means chloroplast. Generally, chloroplast is present in plants. This chloroplast is in green color. Because of this reason, all chloroplastids are green in color. Second one, leucoplastids. The term leuco means white. Some cell organelles present in a plant consists of white color plastids. These white color plastids are called as leucoplastids. And then chromoplastids. Chromo means different colors. Two or more colors are present in a fruit or a flower. that contains chromoplastics. That's about plastics. And the fourth cell organelle is centriole. These centrioles are present in only animal cells, but absent in plant cells. Now we are discussing about some cell organelles. Cell organelles are, first one, nucleus. The nucleus contains genetic substance. It also contains nucleic acids. It also contains DNA and RNA substances. Generally, each plant cell contains a specific organelle called chloroplastics or chloroplast. The chloroplast is useful for preparation of food in the process of photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? This is the 1 mark question in your examinations. Photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction. In this process, plants absorb water from ground level and absorb CO2 from surrounding environment in the presence of light, and preparing starch is known as photosynthesis. That is the definition for photosynthesis. Once again I tell you, the photosynthesis is a photochemical process. In this process, plants absorb water from ground level and absorb CO2 from surrounding environment in the presence of light, and preparing starch is known as photosynthesis. Next, cell is a basic unit of life. Every organism contains one cell. Based on cells, the organisms are classified into two types: unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. The animal which is made up of a single cell is called unicellular. The organism which is made up of a single cell is called unicellular. The organism which is made up of more than two cells or numerous cells is treated as multicellular. Generally, unicellular organisms are amoeba, euglena, paramecium, verticella, chlamydomonas, plasmodium, entamoeba histolytica. All these organisms are treated as unicellular organisms. And then the multicellular organisms are man, donkey, cat, rat, etc. All these organisms contain more than two cells or numerous cells in the body. Because of this reason, that organisms or animals are called as multicellular organisms.